Welcome to the Dan Sports Tips MLB Daily Fantasy Preview Show for today, the 12th of August. I will be taking a look at everything you need for your daily fantasy games on DraftKings today. I will be looking at starting pitchers, stacks of the day, how we can construct a lineup to maximise point scoring potential, foundation players that should be used as the foundation to build a successful lineup on, and a value player at each position. For any of you that haven't had the opportunity to sign up and play daily fantasy sports for DraftKings yet, I will stick a link in the description of this video that will enable you to do that today. My starting pitchers today: David Price of the Boston Red Sox for 10,300. I feel at this point I have to put Price up as the peripherals continue to be good even if the results are inconsistent. He gets a lineup that strikes out top 5 in baseball this year in the Snakes. Arizona do hit lefties well. That being said, Yasmani Tomas, one of their better hitters of lefties, is probably going to be out today. He's missed the last few games. Wellington Castillo, the catcher, another of their good hitters of lefty, has been slumping. He's been absent for a few games on paternity leave, leaving only Paul Goldschmidt. Now, if those three are all in the lineup today, I reserve the right to abandon David Price. If not, then despite excellent conditions forecast for the hitters at Fenway, I think 159 strikeouts in 155 and two-third innings and an ERA in the last 7 games that is a full run, lower than his ERA for the season, means that the trends are pointing in the right direction to play Price today and hold on tight for the white knuckle ride while you do so. Homer Bailey of the Cincinnati Reds for 8,600. He's in his third start back from the long-term injury, heads into Miller Field and division rival the Milwaukee Brewers today. Milwaukee have struck out more than any other team in baseball this year, and bar the outburst yesterday where they plated runs in every single frame on their way to scoring 11, have struggled to consistently score since they traded LaCroix to Texas. Bailey is a strikeout pitcher when he's on. He's compiled 10 strikeouts across the 2 starts this year in 8 two-third innings. The gamble you take is, will he be effective, as consistency is always the issue you face with a pitcher coming back from a long layoff. 8,600, he's going to be worth having in at least a lineup, I think. And Joe Musgrove of the Houston Astros for 8,300. He really intrigues me today. The Jays do strike out a lot. When he entered the game in relief due to injury on debut against these Toronto Blue Jays, he pitched 4 1/3 innings, allowed just 2 base runners, 1 hit, 1 walk, and he struck out 8. He then backed it up second time out with 7 innings of 1-run balls, striking out 6 against the Texas Rangers. I've no doubt at some point Musgrove is going to get hit hard on the major league learning curve. Toronto are a lineup that are capable of doing that, and they have seen him before. But if he does replicate those numbers over a full start, then my God, for 8,300, you've got some serious value in your lineup today, and it's another pitcher that I think warrants being used in at least a lineup. Looking at our stacks of the day, I'm going to stack some Rays against CC Sabathia, who has been struggling with a 6.62 ERA in 9 starts. He's been particularly bad at Yankee Stadium as well. There are ideal hitting conditions forecast in both stadiums in New York today, particularly if the rain stays away. Second baseman Logan Forsythe for 5,300. He has 2 home runs off of CC Sabathia. He's hitting 283 with 13 homers on the year. His last 7 games he's hit 367 with 3 long balls. Third baseman Evan Longoria for 4,500. He has 4 home runs off of CC Sabathia, hitting 280 with 25 bombs on the year. Shortstop Brad Miller for 4,800. He's hitting 345 with 5 home runs in his last 15 games. I think warrants being included in this stack. And outfielder Steven Souza Jr. for 3,500 is on the right side of the platoon. He's hitting 248 with 11 homers on the year. I do think it could pay to stack some Rockies in Philadelphia against young Jake Thompson as well. He struggled on debut against the Padres. Colorado have got plenty of platoon power to do some damage. Great weather conditions forecast at Citizens Bank today as well. Outfielder Charlie Blackmon for 5,200 hits leadoff on the right side of the platoon. He's a 471 hitter with 3 home runs in his last 7 games. Outfielder David Dahl for 4,200 is also on the right side of the platoon since his promotion to the big leagues. 358 with 3 homers. Outfielder Carlos Gonzalez for 5,400. He's obviously one we want to check our lineups, as he's missed 3 games in a row, but he is hitting 323 with 23 homers this year, and is also on the right side of the platoon. And I think we have to include third baseman Nolan Arenado for 5,200. He's hitting 287 and has 30 home runs this season. I would do the standard Arizona stack against Price of Thomas, Castillo and Goldschmidt, as mentioned when I was talking about David Price earlier, but with playing status in doubt for 2 of those, I can't really put that up as a stack today. Looking at my foundation players today. At first base, I've gone with Joey Votto of the Cincinnati Reds for 5,000. He's on the right side of the platoon against the struggling Jimmy Nelson, who's got an ERA of 8 over his last 4 starts. Votto is 293 with 18 homers this year. Second baseman Jose Altuve of the Houston Astros for 5,100. He's on the right side of the platoon against Francisco Liriano. 365, 19 homers, 26 stolen bases. He's just hitting 407 with 2 homers in the last 15 games. Come on, Altuve's in the MVP discussion, surely. Third baseman Danny Valencia of the Oakland Athletics for 4,100 is very good against left-handed pitching. He's hitting 290 with 14 homers. Has been slumping a bit of late and the yard is a negative, but there are decent winds blowing out forecast in Oakland today. Shortstop Brandon Crawford of the San Francisco Giants for 4,600. I don't particularly like the matchup against Dylan Bundy, but it is impossible to deny that Crawford has been pretty lethal at the plate recently. He's hitting 387 with a homer in his last 7. An outfielder Travis Jankowski of the San Diego Padres for 4,900. He's hitting leadoff. He's on the right side of the platoon today. He's hitting 262 with 25 stolen bases, 423 in his last 7 games, and we know you can run on the New York Mets. For my value plays today, catcher Jet Bandy of the Los Angeles Angels is 3,300. He's hitting 304 with 4 home runs in his last 15 games. First baseman Freddie Freeman of the Atlanta Braves for 3,800. The only people that hit Strasburg are the Miami Marlins and Freddie Freeman. Freeman has got 3 home runs off of Steven Strasburg. He's on the right side of the platoon, 281 with 21 homers a year, and has been hitting well for a while, going 345 with 4 homers in his last 15 games. Second baseman Ryan Schimpf of the San Diego Padres for 3,900. Great conditions forecast despite the cavernous ballpark at Citi Field. Vera is capable of allowing runs as well. Schimpf is on the right side of the platoon. He's got 9 home runs in 30 games. My third baseman today, I had to do it. Qualifies at first and third. It's Alex Rodriguez of the New York Yankees for 2,600. Look, he's got a couple of home runs off of Chris Archer, and he's going to be trying to hit the ball out of the park today, and weather conditions are forecast pretty well, and you wouldn't put it past him, would you? Shortstop Carlos Correa of the Houston Astros for 3,900 has hit a home run 3 games in a row. He's hitting 385 over his last 7 games. He's on the right side of the platoon against Francisco Liriano, who has proved hittable this year. Remains to be seen if the switch to Toronto from Pittsburgh will work the magic with him. And in the outfield, I'll take Jacoby Ellsbury of the New York Yankees for 3,800. He's seen Chris Archer well in his career. He's hitting a massive 643 with a homer in 28 at-bats against Chris Archer. Nice hitting conditions forecast in the Bronx, and Ellsbury's been hitting 360 in his last 7 games. That is what I have for you today. Best of luck with your lineups. I'll see you tomorrow.